Good afternoon. Thank you, Sri Ganesh, for inviting me to be a part of this IC. Why would you want to convert to femtosecond-based lenticular extraction of smile when you have very good results as it is with the exam-based system? Our accuracy with smile is far better than what you would get with any exam-based system whatsoever. Accuracy, as Dr. Rupal Shah speaking in the previous session was saying about within 0.5, 98%. I think she's been very, very cautious. It is within 0.25 where you get 98% of patients within plus or minus 0.25 has been my experience in the last 1 year and over about 400 eyes. So it's definitely far more accurate than the exam-based system. Why is the exam-based system weak inherently? That's due to physics. It's the cosine effect. The exam-based system, the laser can only come in straight and the mirror can only tilt, and the mirror cannot move sideways. So you have a beam that comes straight, the second beam goes sideways, the third one goes more sideways. If you're treating a 6mm zone and using a 1 or 2mm beam, you need to have 3 beams that are going to go on the cornea, and it's a curved cornea. As you go down the curvature, the fluence drops off. So a treatment of -4 in the center would drop off to 3.25 here, and down here it will become only 2.75. And that is the reason why when you treat 6.5mm zone in exam and laser, you actually treat 8.5 or 9.5mm zone to extend the accurate treatment to 6. You have to extend the treatment zone to a larger area. And that's why the transition zone comes in. In SMILE, there is no transition zone. We've been always told, if you have an abrupt cutoff of the treatment, you will have edge glare and you will have a lot of issues. That is not the truth. The reason of the transition zone is only the cosine effect and nothing else more. And how does cosine effect not come into the examiner, into the femtosecond laser? Another point about the transition zone and the effective treatment zone. If you're treating a -2 and you put on a 6.5mm zone, your treatment zone is 6.5 with the examiner. As you go up the refractive error and use the same treatment zone, 6.5, with a -8, actual treatment zone is much smaller. And that is law of physics. It does not change with an examiner machine or examiner platform. It's law of physics. So as you go up higher in the refractive error, your actual treatment zones keep getting narrower and narrower and smaller. And that is the reason you have got poorer results with examiner laser with higher refractive errors. In on-femto LASIK, the level of the cut is calculated from the applanation surface, be it a flat surface or a curved surface as in the Visumax. The calculation of the cut is from the applanation, and the accuracy of that calculation is about 2 microns. You need 13 microns to treat 1 diopter. So your accuracy is somewhere about 0.1 diopters. Even if you're going up in the error and down in the lower cut, you still have only about 4 diopters of potential error, and that only comes to about 0.2 again. So that brings in an amazing amount of accuracy into the SMILE treatment of all femto LASIK. Second why, your corneal biomechanics is far more strong post-SMILE than any other treatment that you do, even stronger than you would do on a PRK. We've been doing corneal cross-linking, and we have understood that the anterior 150 to 200 microns of cornea behave differently in cross-linking than the posterior 200 microns. And all the strength of cross-linking comes from what occurs in the anterior 200 microns. And there are subtle differences in the collagen fibers and the collagen makeup in the anterior 100 microns compared to the posterior 400 microns of the cornea. So leaving the 120 microns of corneal biomechanics, of the corneal biomechanics undisturbed, gives you an amazing amount of biomechanical stability. It is no surprise that having done over tens of thousands of SMILE procedures the world over, we do not have a single documented ectasia yet. So much so that SMILE appears to be too good to be true. By purely mathematical calculation, leaving behind a 300 micron bed with an anterior femtosecond flap of 120 microns, the amount of biomechanical strength that you would get vis-a-vis doing a 120 micron cap on SMILE, and the amount of stroma that you could leave behind has been calculated to be 160 microns. Meaning, you can actually get the same corneal strength as you get a 300 micron bed in smile with 160 micron bend. But that, we are not advocating that you go down to 160 microns yet, but that's the kind of biomechanical strength that you get with smile. One more why, you don't have any dry eye. Why do we get dry eye? When you cut the corneal nerve fibers and they regenerate, and the reflex arc is affected and dry eye comes in. Healing of corneal nerve fibers also causes epitheliopathy. Here the cutting is 2 microns when compared to 2 millimeters when comparing to 28 millimeters in any kind of flap making that you do, be it with the microkeratome or with a femtosecond laser. So with almost no nerve fiber cutting, you don't see any kind of dry eye symptoms, and whatever minimal symptoms I've seen are gone in a few weeks. Then when you come to why I would shift to smile, then we look at how do you shift to smile. You start with flex, then you go to what is called a semi-smile, then you do a smile through a 4 or 5 millimeter side cut, then you progress on to a 2 millimeter cut. So I'll give you show you a few videos. This is a flex. I just cut is made, second cut, and you go 28 millimeter all around. Raise the flap. This is actually my very first case. So I'm trying to even raise the flap below. You can peel this off. So it's essentially making a proper femto cut and peeling off the lenticule and not ablating it. So from there, you go on to making a 5 millimeter side cut and dissecting the anterior stroma first. This again is probably one of my second or third cases that I did. You can see that I'm really struggling to dissect, learning the process. And once you've dissected both the top and the bottom, you peel off. I'm sorry, this is a semi-flex where you made a full side cut, but you dissect as much as possible, lift minimally, and get used to the dissection process. From there on to a 5 millimeter side cut. That's a posterior lamella that's being cut. Then the anterior lamellar cut and a 5 millimeter side cut. That gives you more space to work. Carefully go in the anterior lamellar space first, then dissect out the anterior lamellar space, then look for the posterior space, dissect it out carefully, and you can pull out the lenticule. Going through a 5 millimeter side cut gives you a lot more space to maneuver and gives you a lot more safety. Then on, you graduate to the 2 millimeter cut. Open it up. On one side, 1 millimeter to one side. Separate the anterior lamella. Identify the posterior. On the other side, separate the posterior. So initially, you go up in the top, separate out. Now you can see with a little more experience that things are looking more elegant. Go under. And out comes the lenticule. Absolutely fine. Is it always a bed of roses, or do you have some trouble sometimes? I'm going to show you just a couple of videos, one where I really struggled to separate once in a while for unknown reasons, probably through the corneal architecture of a given patient. Separation becomes sometimes very difficult, particularly the deeper lamella. And as I try to separate, you can see that it's starting to tear out there. The point it's tearing. Pull out. And there's a bit left behind there. There's no disaster. This is again one of my very early cases. I tried to go and take it out. It's very difficult. Again, no issues at all. Go in and dissect again. You can go dissect that out. In this instrument, there's a slit beam that's available for you to use a slit lamp feature. So you can actually see this sliver there and maneuver it out. Or else you can take the patient to your regular OT, go under a regular microscope and take out the piece. And that comes out perfect. And no issues at all. So it's not that if you leave a piece behind or you have a torn lenticule that all is lost, you have to raise the flap, you do a C-cut, not really necessary. With a little bit of application of mind, a little bit of skill, one can get around these kind of small complications with no great difficulty. So in summary, SMILE is accurate, SMILE is absolutely safe, and it is far more predictable than any other excimer-based laser treatment whatsoever. Thank you.